All right, guys, welcome back to the Hearthmind Conqueror series. This is the fourth edition, and we're about to bring you the grand final tonight between Darkclaw and Kinslayer. I'm joined again by Bullock Oskier Watson and Alex DeBoss of Team Hearthmind. You guys ready to jump right into this game?
Absolutely.
All right, so just to give you a quick rundown of the classes that we have, Darkclaw is bringing Ramp Druid. He has a mage and a warrior, which I would say is safe to assume is a control warrior.
Yes, it
And
is.
on Kinslayer's side, he has a paladin, like a mid-rangey paladin, a mage as well, and a mid-range hunter. So again, it's fairly similar lineups, I would say, with Darkclaw holding the one really slower control deck, which in the last series, that was what we gave Lemurian the edge based on. So what do you guys think here? Do you think it's going to play out the same as the last one, or do you think that the single control deck is gonna carry?
There's something pretty noticeable about the lineup for Darkclaw, I think it is. He has one Keys and Mystic in every single one of his decks.
Well, they actually just queued up, so let's jump right in it.
All right.
It's Druid against Paladin.
And like you were saying, though, Alex, that I think the Kez and Mystics will definitely give Darkclaw an advantage here, considering that Kinslayer is running both Mage and Hunter, which are both secret-heavy decks.
And his
every
mage is called Secrets Mage.
Yeah, every single deck has a Keys and Mystic, which means that those decks will have to go up against Keys and Mystic. So it was a really good call on his part.
And of course, the spectator mode is giving me a hard time. There's a shocker, right?
Druid of the Claw is a 0/0 Warlock card for 0 mana.
Well, this game is going to last a while because Darkclaw's hand is very heavy. He's got 5 drops and 7 drops in his hand. And Kinslayer is playing a Paladin, so...
Yeah,
All right.
he
So
played Zombie Child, so
I'm trying to get the spectator booted back up here. It's frozen on my end right now, so as much of the action as you can give us would be great here.
Well, Kinslayer, as a Paladin, has a Zombie Chow, a mini-bot that does not have the shield anymore, and a dude against a taunted up Druid of the Claw, and he decides to equality that.
that's extremely interesting.
That and trades a dude into it, but that's extremely odd.
I would have coined a Lotheb because it's a 5/5, which trades really well with the 4/6, so then you don't have to use your equality.
Yeah,
You
and
know there's a lot more taunts coming from that Druid, and you just use an equality on one of the weaker taunts that he has. That's odd.
yeah, I was just gonna say, especially in the Druid matchup, I think equality you can really value higher, or should value higher, I guess you could say, because it, like you said, it has so much work it can do against those big taunts. To use it on just a Druid of the Claw, which is one of the smallest ones that they usually run, aside from maybe a Tazdingo on some lists, it just feels very weak.
It does. If he goes for Dr. Boom here and he doesn't... Yeah, if he goes for Dr. Boom because he can't kill his Druid of the Claw, Mind Control Tech has a chance to steal a really good minion.
And even if it doesn't, he has BGH in hand, so
Mhm.
Dr. Boom is not that much of a threat.
So Ancient of Lore, if Darkclaw knew about Kinslayer's hand, would be the better play.
And he went for it.
Oh, he did? Well, spectator mode messed up then.
Yeah, mine is stuck as well, it looks like.
See, that's why you have to spectate on a tablet.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm seeing Kinslayer's side, but I'm not seeing any play going on. It's just he's sitting with the Lotheb out.
I spoke too soon. I froze as well.
Well, I'm in the game, and I'm the only one in the game. And it looks like the Paladin just took board control with the Sylvanas on the board. So Darkclaw's gonna have to trade his Ancient of Lore into the Sylvanas most likely, which really doesn't help him take back the board that much.
Well, if you look at it, I'm actually seeing it again now. If he trades into Sylvanas, which is a pretty obvious play, then a swipe completely clears the board, or he can Wrath and Hero Power to clear the board. He's got plenty of options.
Mm-hmm.
And with mana left over to still play, let's say, the Azure Drake.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see Azure Drake and Wrath after killing Sylvanas.
Actually, Azure Drake and Wrath doesn't allow him to Hero Power, so it's not a complete clear. But
Yeah, but you're using your mana better than any other, and you're being more efficient with your cards. Like, Keeper of the Grove for 2 damage isn't exactly what you want to do against a deck that plays Tyrion.
well, he's holding the other one in hand,
Mm-hmm.
so he went for the full board clear, and I can see that.
Yeah, and Sylvanas is gone, so there's really not 2 more silence targets left. Just the one with Tyrion.
Now, what do you do on Kinslayer's side? He picked up the weapon to clear the board on Darkclaw's side, but other than that, he really doesn't have anything unless he goes for the muster and then coin Quartermaster.
I would like Hero Power and True Silver this turn, so that you can set up for a muster for battle with Quartermaster the next turn. I really disagree with playing the 3-3 there, because the 1-1 is equal to the 3-3 if it's not cleared, and it's for free.
Yes, I'm really curious as to why he did that play.
Wrath would be for drawing instead of for 3 damage here.
But that can be when played around.
Right. And it's free. Like, it's free. You can't get much better than free. So Consecration to clear the bombs. Doesn't have a really good way. Oh no, never mind. He does have a great way of clearing Dr. Boom. I saw every card in the hand except for Big Game Hunter. So that's a pretty great board clear. And Hero Power? Yeah.
Yeah, and he's setting himself up, like you were saying earlier, for the muster for battle plus Quartermaster now.
Mm-hmm.
Though he is still 1 turn off from being able to Hero Power, muster, and Quartermaster to get the maximum swing out of it.
Well, getting it on 4 dudes is great value. I don't think you can ask for much more.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's a great value. And especially with this Azure Drake now, he can get the full value out of the True Silver, too. Before...
Whoa, it's pretty aggressive. I guess it makes sense because Big Game Hunter trades with the Azure Drake, but then again, so does the True Silver, which is the trade that would happen anyway. Seems a little drastic.
And it does also eliminate the dude, because, I mean, he's probably expecting a Quartermaster at this point.
Yeah. But that's another reason to save the swipe, with the chance that you can use it to help clear the 3-3s.
Yeah, it's kind of a give or take, I think, because the swipe, even with a Drake, isn't going to clear the 3-3s.
Yeah, but 2 of them. But the Drake wouldn't survive, so it's really hard to say. Now clearing this is quite the problem.
Yeah, because...
Druid really doesn't have good AoE.
No, not really. It's all for small stuff, and there's so much 3 health guys in the game right now. Oh, he's just gonna go for, I'm gonna top deck Force of Nature before you taunt up. Or heal.
Even though he doesn't have the combo, he has 3 cards left in hand, so bringing his opponent under 14 health threatens it.
Yeah, Sludge Belcher is huge. Because now Force of Nature top deck doesn't kill Kinslayer.
Yeah, and he has such a board built up too on Kinslayer's side with this that
You got the knives.
yeah, so he really has Darkclaw in a dangerous spot right now.
Hmm.
To be honest, I don't see a way for Darkclaw to get out of this.
I don't either, and I think that's lethal on board. Maybe one off if he hero powers. Yes, he's one off lethal. And never mind, he has lethal.
Yeah, even without the Lotheb, he would have had potentially lethal if the knife went where he needed it to go.
Right, yeah.
But this definitely seals it. So Kinslayer is going to take game one with the mid-range Paladin. So he's going to have Tempo Mage and mid-range Hunter to continue with.
Not great considering every deck for Darkclaw has a Keys and Mystic in it.
Yeah, so this could definitely turn around really quickly.
Even though Darkclaw lost the first game, I think Darkclaw is still favored to win because of his deck choices in his decks.
He has to really like that card. He has a golden because of Mystic.
Yeah.
It's really a very strong card in the current meta, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you see so much of the mage varieties, and Hunter is everywhere as well.
It's the new BGH.
Yeah.
Not BGH. It's the new Black Knight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and spectator mode's still not letting me get into Darkclaw for whatever reason.
Oh well, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, Darkclaw has a good hand. He has a Mad Scientist, a Zombie Chow, a Sorcerer's Apprentice, and a Flame Cannon on coin.
Yes.
The coin is actually really important. But that's a great hand.
And
Now, do you
Kinslayer's
think
hand is actually very similar, but the Ragnaros is obviously not going to see play anytime soon.
Yeah, it's not a Flame Cannon.
And you might actually use the Flame Cannon.
I like Sorcerer's Apprentice coin Flame Cannon. First you kill the Scientist. If it's a counterspell, then counterspelling a coin is not the worst thing that ever happened. For sure.
Yeah, and that looks like what he's going for.
Yeah, and if it's not, then you get rid of a Zombie Chow. So
And duplicating Zombie Chow on the off chance it's a duplicate is not bad either.
Yeah, so now what does Darkclaw have that he can play into the mirror entity? Is he holding any good
Well, he has Mad Scientist, but that's not really good because that's actually a lot of value for one minion.
well, he's gonna play this Unstable Portal first and see what happens.
Ooh, Recombobulator.
That's
I wonder if he'll play that.
That's an interesting pickup. So I'm trying to think what targets he would have in the deck for Recombobulator that would really be value targets.
Well, Azure Drake is a good one, considering part of its value is in the battle cry, not the stats.
Yeah, and we see Kinslayer did pick up the Kezen Mystic. So if Secret comes out on Darkclaw's side, that's, I think, going to be game-breaking.
Yeah.
Oh, they both run Kezen Mystic, so we might see ping pong.
Maybe. It's just a matter of if Darkclaw actually draws it. It is only one card out of 30 cards. It's not actually very likely to get it in this game. So, Recombobulator did a terrible job. Wow.
Yeah, that was definitely not what he was looking for there. Picking up the ooze.
But he really doesn't have a good target for it, so he basically tried to play it as a 3-2 and just debuffed one of his minions.
And here is that Kezen Mystic swing that we were just talking about.
And it is a counterspell, not a mirror entity. which makes it a lot easier to deal with right now because there's no spells he can play, but there are big minions.
Well, if he doesn't pick up anything other than that Flame Strike is going to become a dead card.
Well, Flame Cannon to the rescue.
That works.
On curve, next turn he can proc the counterspell before the Flame Strike while playing a Shredder. Kinslayer's hand is just so much better, though.
Yeah, he has like all really high value minions if you look at his hand.
Mhm.
And next turn, either the Azure Drake or Lotheb both play on curve.
Well, it is ping pong. That Flame Cannon becomes way better now.
Nope, that's actually a pretty good one. Probably Lotheb and Hero Power. Pretty self-explanatory turn.
It's on curve. It clears the one little minion.
Mhm.
Doesn't allow it to trade with Lotheb. Well, you can trade with Lotheb, but you have to use your hero power.
So probably Hero Power and trade with Lotheb with the keys in.
Yeah, I would agree with that play. I think it's the best thing to just get Lotheb off the board because you... Oh, wow.
Well, he is holding a Flame Strike. But I feel like that telegraphs Flame Strike so much that the opponent's now going to attack with his Lotheb into the Azure Drake. Which is not great for you. He may just go face, though, to maximize the chance that Ragnaros hits a minion. Nope, he is going to trade. And Ragnaros hit the right thing.
Yes,
Actually,
this really...
I don't agree. Trade, not trading.
Yeah, it looks like Darkclaw's, or I'm sorry, Kinslayer, his hand is just getting stronger every turn with like every card he picks up, where it feels like Darkclaw is starting to run out of gas at this point.
Flame Strike is a lot of hope right now because the Ragnaros didn't hit the Shredder. So this is a full clear. That's really the highest value he could ask for off Flame Strike.
Yeah, it definitely was good value there, and now he just really needs to draw into a way to start generating some damage. Because the Haunted Creeper is really not going to do much on its own, especially looking at what Kinslayer's holding in his hand between the Shredder and Sylvanas. His board presence is going to be so much stronger.
He stole a Mana Worm, which is actually not bad, considering how small Darkclaw's minions are. It's pretty easy to fight his minions off with that Mana Worm.
He would need a spell to do it, though, to really start to grow. Oh, and he picks one up off the Drake.
Here it is. And there it is.
Wow, that owl is actually big, because now he can just clear the creeper outright.
Mm-hmm. By the way, he misplayed. If he would have hit the Mana Worm into the Haunted Creeper and then hit the Shredder into the 1/3, he could have hero powered the face. Not too important, but noticeable. The game is still his, especially with Dr. Boom. Yep, it's over. Dr. Boom just crossing his arms, knowing that because he's been drawn, they win. Unless this is a Doomsayer. Nope.
Yeah, so he easily clears out the Sludge Belcher.
I guess second Flame Strike is possibly an out.
Is he holding a second card, though, that would be able to deal with Dr. Boom?
No, but you just tank 7 to the face and then deal with it the next turn, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he does still have the health lead, but not for long, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, this is over. Unstable portal, I guess he might as well. He might just hold it because he doesn't want it to get counterspelled. Really doesn't matter that much what he does here. He should have the game. He might hero power his own bomb just cause he can.
Hey, the bomb wouldn't be able to give him lethal, though.
No, but my reasoning, just cause you can.
Just because.
Yeah.
And,
He'll probably play Sylvanas just cause. No, he probably won't actually.
and I don't think that Flame Imp's ever going to see the light of day here.
No. He already loses to double fireball, but double fireball was not a thing.
Yeah, so Kinslayer did pick up the second game there. Did we lose Bullock on the call?
You didn't lose me, but I lost spectator mode, so I didn't really see much of the second half of that game.
Yeah,
I'm actually really surprised that, what's his name? Darkclaw is behind 2 games with the Keys and Mystic tech card.
Well, he has the last chance to use it against this hunter here.
So now he's got to win all 3 games against this hunter if you really break it down.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he's running the Mystic in all 3 of his lists, I think that really, it gives him a halfway decent shot at it.
Yeah. It's below 50% for sure. The chances are low, but it's definitely doable.
Well, the warrior definitely can do it. The warrior, I'd say, is favored. The combo druid, I'd say, is at least a 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
The mage, I think, is the toughest one, so probably Darkclaw just wants to get it out of the way.
See, I would probably say that druid is the toughest matchup against the hunter. I would give mage the edge, given the mage list that he's running, but druid with double combo fast druid, it's not as taunt heavy.
That is true. That is not the really taunt heavy druid that we saw about a week or 2 ago. Be very popular on ladder. It's very combo oriented. Well, it's actually a 1.5 combo. It's not a full 2 combo druid. But
Yeah, and this is a slower hunter deck too, so I guess I can see your point of why the druid would not necessarily be a great matchup.
oh, he got the juggle.
Does he freezing trap here, or does he hero power?
I think that's
I
what
think
he's...
hero power, because that's not something that you want to freeze. Well, I guess he does.
I think you do want to freeze it just because he's not going to play it again on turn 5. There's better things for you to play, so that thing is going to be in the hand for at least 2 turns, and it's not the best turn 6 play for sure.
Well, if you play it on turn 6, you play it with another secret.
Maybe.
Well, not on turn 6, no, because that would be off curve. But let's say turn 7, you do that and hero power.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would agree with what you're saying there, Bullock, that it's not as much of a loss for spending the 5 mana to play it again, because you do get the secret for free with it. So you're getting the 4/3 body along with essentially another free 3 mana, so it definitely isn't the best thing to freeze.
Yeah, I think I would have gone for the hero power last turn. I know he wants to preserve his juggler. He was more concerned about his board. But he gave him value on his next secret whenever he pulls it.
If this Azure Drake survives to the next turn, then he can attack into the Haunted Creeper and then Flame Strike, and that's a full clear. Or even if the Haunted Creeper just trades to get knives.
I think he's gonna run the juggler into it.
Yep, he made the
He
right
did.
call.
And if he doesn't Flame Strike on this turn, okay, so he did. I was going to say that his position is really just going to get worse because the Shredder probably would have came down as well. So it would have been a second body that would have stuck around through the Flame Strike.
So going for Belcher, just sticking to the mana curve, even though it's weaker than the Shredder in terms of attack.
Well, he's already so far ahead. I don't think he's in that much of a hurry, and the one attack difference is not going to make that big of a difference in the long run.
Mm-hmm. Frostbolt the Sludge Belcher to stop damage. Or Unstable Portal and hope for a 3-drop that's good that you can play this turn.
Yeah, that was actually going to be the other thing I was going to say about the Belcher versus Shredder too, that he could have been considering too that Shredder dies to Frostbolt, whereas Belcher doesn't. Belcher requires something else to remove on top of that.
But Shredder dying would actually be better than Sludge Belcher being frozen because that thing has charge and your opponent's at 14.
That's a good way to play around her energy. He's flooding the board, but he already saw the flame strike, so probably not too worried about it.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think.
Oh, Mystic.
I was just going to say, I think that's pretty safe to assume that he's only running one Flame Strike, even though I'm saying from Kinslayer's standpoint, having not seen the deck list, because 2 Flame Strikes is just so slow that, you pretty much never see it outside of a heavy control type deck.
Or Arena.
Yeah, I mean, Arena you'll see 17
Six.
Flame Strikes. Or 12 Fire Elementals, all those lovely, incredibly skill-based decks.
Yeah, Griff would agree. This is looking quite grim for Darkclaw. He's leaving 6 damage on board, 2 damage with hero power, and he's dead.
And kill command that seals the deal.
Yes,
Yep.
the skill
Well-
command, as always, coming
Another-
through for the hunter. Yeah, this is actually...
I played this really well.
Oh,
Even if he
absolutely.
didn't get it, the kill command just made him win this turn as opposed to win within the next 2 or 3.
Yeah, probably wasn't gonna come out with anything crazy.
He was way too far ahead and sitting at 30 health still.
Oh, and he threw a little bit of flair in there at the end of it.
Yeah. Put an overkill right there.
Little icing on the cake for the end of it. So that's going to go to Kinslayer 3-0 in the series, too.
Very impressive.
All right, so you said you had some announcements that you wanted to make tonight, Askia?
Yes, we got some great news. First off, we're going to be starting tournament series, and it's going to be a pay-to-enter series, very small tournaments, just 16-man tournaments with a $5 entry, with $25 a prize for first place, 15 for second place, 10 for third place. So just as we have on our bigger Friday ones, just with only 16 people. And the idea is we're going to run those during the week when people usually don't have that much time to sit till 2 or 3 in the morning and play tournaments, but still want to play tournaments and still want to be able to win some cash and play at a higher level. So we're going to be organizing that pretty soon. I can't say exactly the dates yet, but soon, TM.
Mm-hmm.
And then another series, I'm going to let Alex announce this because he's going to be in charge of this project.
This is my favorite thing. We used to do challenge series where we would have deck restrictions where you follow a certain theme and you have to build decks under this certain restriction, and it was really interesting for building different decks that use different cards and winning through really great deck building and interesting games. We're bringing it back, and for the first one, we're going to do something really, really old school. Our first challenge is going to be you cannot use Goblins versus Gnomes or Nax Ramus cards in your deck. So this is the classic set, very, very old format that I'm sure we've probably forgotten by now. So it's going to be interesting to see it come back.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I really miss our Conquest series or Challenge series rather. And the third thing that I want to announce tonight is that starting next Friday, our weekly Friday Conquest series are going to award points for BlizzCon. So you're going to get 10 points for first place, 5 points for second place, and third and fourth place are going to get 1 point each. So start getting those decks ready and try to get to BlizzCon.
Yeah, so it's going to be an exciting tournament, I think, next week. And I expect to see a lot of competitors out for it. So that's definitely going to be a big thing. And I, too, myself, I'm excited about the Challenge Series coming back, because that was actually what got a lot of people originally interested in Hearthmind. You know, it's where really our roots that I feel like we're going back to, bringing that back. And I think a lot of people are going to be excited to see it, have a good time with it, because it really does focus on the deck building, which is something that we all love. Did you guys have anything else to add before we close this up tonight?
No, that should be it for tonight. I'm really excited to see you guys next week. And like I said, check the site pretty often, because at some point during the week we should have already days when we're going to start our pay-to-enter tournaments. And we're going to have a date and sign-ups for the reinstallment of the Challenge Series.
All right, so I'm just going to say thanks a lot for everyone for coming out tonight, everybody that played in the tournament, all you guys that watched. And all right, take care and have a good night.